For me, entrepreneurship's probably the one that is most intriguing to me because the thought of learning entrepreneurship in a classroom versus being in the field is just so ludicrous.
My name's Kurt, and I'm the president of one of the universities here in Oslo.
Very nice.
And university education is a dying industry. We're slaves to the campus model.
Yep.
Our government cares only about getting people through fast enough.
Correct.
I assume you think education is a good idea, but do you see any value for degrees?
I do see value for degrees in the short and medium term if people have a very specific job they want and that organization requires a degree to get it. If you want to be a consultant at Bain and McKinsey in the next 24 to 36 months, I still believe that they care about where you went to college. However, and you can hold on to the mic because I think we might have a good conversation here.
Great.
However, to your question that you're leading, I think you're barking up the right tree. I don't think that people realize that the biggest and best universities in the world are only trading on brand, right? Not on the actual education. That actual education is actually sitting at the professor level, not at the university or campus level. And as education gets commoditized, distribution of education gets commoditized, and things like Khan Academy and the 7 other things that are about to happen. If you get the 13 best professors of economics together, if I, as a great businessman, went out and rounded up the 13 best professors around economics and created a direct-to-consumer economics training education platform, we would dominate. We would dominate, we would win, because that's where the IP is. It's in her and him, not at the logo level. And so I think over the next 20 to 30 years, this great run of 100 years plus is coming
1,000 years.
Respect, because I'm undereducated. This great run, it's true, I am, to your point, is clearly in a vulnerable place. And I think every country has its own dynamics. My answer was, in America, you started getting into the 50s when everybody had to go to college or a community college, not go vocational, right? So there's different dynamics. Different cultures will spend their time differently in dissolving this. But I think your energy is right. I think when somebody watches this video in 50 years, they're going to say, wow, those guys got it.
Those guys got it. Yeah, because all we really need to do at the institutional level is, in a sense, double check and give accreditation to all the crazy online work experience combination of things that people put together to make an education.
And don't forget, that's just playing on the brand, right? Putting that stamp of approval is just brand.
And assuring the quality. But the idea that we're going to draw everybody to move onto campus for 5 years to get education, that's crazy.
And listen. The counter argument, people say, well, people have grown up on these campuses, this and that. I go, I agree, but listen, travel around the world then. There's so many alternatives to putting them on campus where they can learn to mature as individuals. You're preaching to the choir on this one. I think it plays out, but of course, learning is imperative. But for me, entrepreneurship's probably the one that is most intriguing to me because the thought of learning entrepreneurship in a classroom versus being in the field is just so ludicrous. And then America has a weird extra dynamic. The level of debt our citizens are going into. You've got 23-year-olds coming out of college today with $280,000 in debt at enormously high interest rates, and the piece of paper is not getting them a good job anymore. It's really bad in America, really bad. And ironically, it's the one thing you can't declare bankruptcy from and clear up. You can literally be fraudulent and clean up your credit, but you can't do it with a college debt. It's such a fucking fraud, it makes me throw up.
Yeah.
That's right. Me too.
Yeah.